Okay, so we have now time traveled once again. This time we are back to the point where you were probably expecting for us to be when it came to us doing these alternate timelines. We are now looking at the decision that we were asking ourselves at the end of Blood and Wine. Do we either ask Orianna where to find the Unseen Elder, or do we go and find Damien to try to track down Sienna? And of course, if you're watching earlier in the our series, then, which if you haven't done that, I highly recommend that you do that, because these are alternate timelines, so we're going to be referencing our old timelines a lot. So I would say this is your first warning, but we did, of course, do this in our initial timeline. So for our alternate ending here, we're looking to check out what the deal is, what happens when we ask Orianna to find the Unseen Elder. So from what we heard at the time, we had reason to believe that tracking down Damien would get us to Sienna, and then our initial plan was actually to try to bring Sienna to Detloff, because Detloff was basically saying, hey, bring me Sienna, or else I'm going to continue waging war on Toussaint. Obviously, that didn't exactly turn out as planned, because it turned out he just kind of got mad at us, and we didn't really have the opportunity to have the two make up with each other, and instead, we just ended up fighting Detloff to the death. So that did spiral a little bit out of control in that sense, but of course we did ultimately, at the very least, still manage to get Sienna and her sister, Anna Henrietta, to, you know, reacquaint themselves with each other and get back on friendly terms, it seems, when there was perhaps, for a while there, a significant threat of one trying to kill the other. So thankfully that did still end up fairly well, but we're going to see what we can do over here when we go this route here. This will be our primary thing that we're looking at when it comes to alternate endings, although, from what I've heard, there may actually be a third ending for us to look at as well. So I wonder if maybe, I'm not sure what that one is, other than obviously just going through and see what comes up whenever we try to go with Orianna here. But I'm wondering if maybe the third would be if we can somehow find a way to actually get Sienna and Detloff to meet up and not have to fight one of them to the death, because at least my first guess here would be that, of course, this path led to us fighting Detloff to the death, which was surprising, because if anything, I thought this was going to be leading to us siding with Detloff. My first guess was that, if anything, this would be the one that would have led us to fighting Detloff to the death. So I'm thinking that if we don't manage to pair them up when we go down this route, then I don't think we'll fight Detloff to the death. I would think, if anything, we might have basically someone sort of filling in Detloff's role as the final boss. I don't know if it would be the Unseen Elder, or if it would be someone else, maybe even Damien? Basically just flipping the script. Damien or someone else affiliated with Toussaint, and we basically end up taking Detloff and the Unseen Elder's side, or something like that. I don't know. But let's see. Oh, let's actually make sure we're headed for the right place, though. So if we're going to find Orianna, where is she? She is... Let's see, that's Damien. Orianna is down here, so I think we do need to be kind of careful, because if I remember correctly from our initial timeline, we were saying that if we went a little bit too far in one direction, that we could potentially start setting ourselves down the path and lock ourselves in for taking one of these options, even if it's not necessarily the one that we meant to do. So, let's see. Oh, well, also, hold on just a second here. We may have had this on for a very long time, but I've just there was extremely noticeable. Do we have, like, a crazy amount of blur effects or something like that on? Let's see. Is it on graphics? I thought I had turned this on a very long time ago. Let's see. It was just very noticeable for a minute there, but I'm not immediately seeing it. Or at least I would have thought it'd be in here. So, you know, at least initially I'm not seeing it. But anyways, in the interest of not keeping us waiting there, we'll deal with it like that. That is what I'm referring to. Like, that just seemed really blurry for a second there. But anyways, so we do know, at least short term, what to expect here is that, I imagine, we will still end up running into a lot of vampires on our way down. I think we sort of took an alternate path down last time on our initial playthrough, and therefore we kind of dodged several vampires that we would have run into along the way. But now I think if we're going the way that the quest is sort of directing us to go, then I imagine we will run into all of them when we would, well, expect to run into them, because I think we kind of doubled back to fight them, just so that we didn't miss out on it, but it was kind of strange. It felt sort of like we were forcing the issue a bit there. This does surprise me a bit that we haven't run into any yet, to tell you the truth. Are we doing the same thing we did last time? Maybe. Maybe we are. So yeah, I would have thought we'd run into a vampire or two at least at this point. So I thought... That guy's just chilling over there, apparently. I would have thought we'd run into some... Yeah, here we go. Catechins or what have you. I mean, I'm sure there will be plenty. Or this one will still find a way to fight us. Can they get down here? I don't know if I can. I mean, if we give it enough time, it might run down all the way around those stairs that we just went down ourselves. But, let's maybe not wait for all that. I think we will still run into a vampire or two on our way over, at the very least. Oh, also, just taking a quick look here, it looks like some of our gear is a little damaged. And so we are now back to having our more or less endgame gear here. We have Erendite, we have the Teshemutna Steel Sword, and let's see. Erendite is fine. Teshemutna Sword is not. Let's repair that, just in case. Let's throw on probably a 40% repair for that. And then our armor. That's doing okay. Ooh. Our boots could use... I mean, it's technically not getting reduced effectiveness yet. Could use a little bonus there. Oh, also... Wait a second. Another glyph spot? For our boots and our gloves? Did we just never use that in our first playthrough? Maybe we gained that once we started using the Grandmaster gear. Maybe that wasn't available previously, or maybe we just flat out missed it. But it theoretically does mean we can upgrade them a little bit more. Let's throw on a 15% repair, though. And so what did we have here? We had Quen intensity on both of them. What are our alternatives here? I mean, it's pretty much just Ard, Axie, Igni, Gurden, and I think Quen is yellow, but at the moment we don't have a fully upgraded Quen one. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have the alchemy recipes to upgrade lesser into normal glyph into greater glyph, so we could make that happen if we wanted to go all in on the Quen. But technically speaking, isn't Axie still our only fully upgraded sign? It is. I mean, if we have full adrenaline, then we can still get the Flood of Anger to give us a sign of the highest level intensity. But that's not necessarily guaranteed, of course. So it might make sense to just try to increase the effectiveness of what is more or less our best sign here. Would mean throwing in a few of these here. I think we try that. Not really tried... We have a free spot? We do. Yeah, we've not really tried scaling the Axie at all through these sign glyphs. So it's 20% sign intensity collectively across the two of them. So I'll be interested to see to what extent that is a noticeable difference. I mean, that's a somewhat large number, but I'm not sure if that's large enough for it to be all that noticeable. And there's some circumstances in which we're going to use Axie, some in which we're probably just not going to at all. But okay, this is the bridge where I think stuff went down. Or at least everyone started trying to run away. Yo! We got some Garcanes. I just want to make sure we're heading in the right direction here. So we want to make sure we go straight. Let's make sure we put maybe a custom marker here. We're basically going straight through where this guy is. This Garcane. They're pretty massive, if I remember correctly. That is, if we don't just damage it until it goes down without giving it much of an opportunity at all to hit us. Ooh. Okay, hold on a second. This was the direction I wanted to go in. But it doesn't look all that straightforward to get here, unless we can blow through this with Bernard. Doesn't look like we can. Hold on, then. We go around this way? Can we? Think so. So I was gonna say, if not, then we were at risk of having to go down this way, and then just making a hard turn here and hoping that that didn't bring us close enough to trigger this. But it seemed like we might have been at risk of having to happen, but given how there are still more enemies here, I mean, it's the classic situation of where there are enemies, you are obviously supposed to go, right? They wouldn't have put a flighter here if we weren't supposed to go this way, right? Surely not. Also, we might have technically missed the loot from the Garcane up here, but we'll live. We'll live, okay? Alright, let's also, let's see. Put on some food here real quick. I think we're heading this way, assuming we can get out of here. Unless this is just a dead end that happened to have a random enemy in it. Through here? No. In fact, we are now on fire. So that worked wonderfully. Hold on. How do we get through here, then? Maybe we do need to go the other way. At least, initially, I did not see the right pathway there. Hold on, let's just take a closer look, make sure we're not missing anything here. Let us through this way. I mean, it did seem like this was sort of a strange side alley that I wouldn't have thought would have been the way to get to Orianna. I would have thought, if anything, we would be able to take a more direct approach, but it seems like we cannot go this way. Can't go straight through, because that was definitely blocked. Through this area. Guess we can go there? No? Read the sign! The Tailor's Workshop. That's not going to help us, though. So, in that case, I think we may not have any choice in the matter. Let's save here just in case. But I think we may need to go in the direction of that, the other pathway, and then just make sure that we are turning as quickly as possible to head over towards Orianna and not towards Damien. Otherwise, we might accidentally end up going down the path we already went down. So let's make sure... Oh, we're about to get attacked by something. But that means, yes, like this pathway here, do not, whatever you do, do not turn left. Or rather, don't turn right. Do turn left. Do not turn right. I vaguely remember that. Okay, this is actually Bruxa, if I remember correctly. Both of them, potentially. We might even want to put on some vampire oils here. That would probably be helpful. Given the number of vampires we've got here. Oh no, that is a little child, legitimately. The one that I just swung my sword at. This one is not, though. Oh, dear. Oh, then our urine expires right when it actually tries to engage with us? Fantastic. See you. Now you're down there. I can still see you. Now you're running at us, kind of, sort of, but you're... Really? Really? You gotta be like that? Alright, girl, keep that sword drawn. There we are. There she is. Oh, well, this is not the place we're supposed to be standing in this situation. And we should heal right about now. Alright, down she goes. That was actually, she dealt a fair bit of damage to us. Okay, so, now let's make sure. So we want to go a little bit further and then take a left. Again, it's just, like, how do we get through? That would potentially be something. This would be something where we'd want to go. So we don't want to go down this way, do we? I don't think so. If we go down this way, we're going to head towards Damien. How do we... Can we fast travel? Like, actually, fast traveling could be, if we're allowed to, be very helpful here to just go to the Metna gate, and that way we approach from the other angle and we don't have to worry about going through town here, because I feel like if we do, we're just going to end up triggering this and we're never going to go the way we want to go. So that might actually be what we need to do here. I mean, there's a chance we can do this, but I feel like there's a large risk that we end up just forcing ourselves down the way that we already went. So if we are going to go for a fast travel spot, then I think the best one is going to be actually back up the palace, because I'm not sure we could even make it to the one in the other direction that was sort of in the middle of town, because that was where we were trying to go before, and that was a place that was blocked off, and if we could get to that fast travel spot, then we could just walk over to that spot anyway. And well, here are the vampires we were looking to go fight previously. Please don't do that. Ow. That hurts. I don't appreciate that. What is it that... Is it that we're bleeding them? Is that why they're taking the damage over time? Or do we have, I don't think we have black blood active. Okay, there you go. Oh, there you are. Yep. Oh, that totally hit you. I know you're dancing around, but you can't tell me that didn't hit you. You're not dead yet. Ow. There we go. Alright, your elaborate, dramatic death. Then we loot you. Yeah, we may run into more of them on our way back up here. Basically, the plan is, and I don't even know if this is going to work, because there's a chance that we just aren't allowed to use fast travel spots at this moment. But our plan is to go to this fast travel spot here, use that to get here, so that way we hopefully have an actual route to this spot here to get to Orianna. Otherwise, it just seems like how else do we get through town to get to her without accidentally running past the area where we lock ourselves into the pathway that we've already done. But this does, at the very least, perhaps give us the opportunity to fight some of those vampires that we otherwise would have missed out on, like, say, this, I think, Catechin here? Yep. That one was comparatively much more straightforward. Then again, the Catechins we've been fighting for a while, relative to the Bruxa and Alps. And then there? For a second I thought I saw a light bar. Oh, I definitely hear things here. Just the flutter. I hear something else. Okay, flutter down. Yeah, there's perhaps another flutter over there. Round in the corner on us. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, I'm not sure that's actually all that effective against specifically the flutters, but we'll do it anyway. Down it goes. Can we loot them? This one at least. And this one. Okay, so now let's head back up. And I just want to see, is it even possible for us to fast travel? Yikes. Could be getting close to the top now, I think. Yeah. Alright, so our fast travel spot is right here. Can we use it right here? No, we can't! Okay. We cannot do so. Alright, so at the very least, we got the chance to fight those vampires. But, how the heck? How the heck did we get here? You would think it'd be pretty straightforward going through. I mean, there's probably just some pathway that I didn't notice, but it really seemed like, I mean, we tried going down several pathways. The straightforward route, right down Main Street here, the ground place, that was blocked by a set of rubble and flaming rubble at that. Then we tried going around to the side here, also blocked by flaming rubble. Then we tried going down here, And we didn't want to go this way because we were fearful of accidentally locking ourselves into working with Damien. But we wanted to go down this way and then curve around that, like that. And that also had us in blocked by flaming debris. So how the heck did we get to Orianna? Legitimately. I mean, it may just be that there's something really straightforward that I missed, but I honestly didn't see it. So, like, that's, you know, you'd think you'd at least make it a little more straightforward to get to her, because it's seemingly far easier to get to Damien than it is to get to her. And, how do we make it happen? Because, I mean, we could go crazy and, like, run all the way around the edge of town, like, go up north around here, by the turning grounds, and then loop around to the southeastern side of town and approach from this angle and get in. Obviously, that is extremely inefficient, and I have to imagine there is some other way to do it, but as of right now, I mean, we just looked, and we didn't find it. Can I call Roach? I can. Theoretically. But, what the heck?
Faster.
I mean, there's gotta be a simple, straightforward way to get there, right? And we must have just missed it. It just feels really, really strange that it is not more blatantly obvious. To which I'm sure you're saying, Lids, it is blatantly obvious, you just missed it, and it was in plain sight. I mean, we looked pretty thoroughly. Like, that may be the case, but apparently it was not in plain sight enough for us. So maybe we'll ride Roach down here. We'll try to give it one more chance to find what I would imagine is the go-to route for... Yeah, let's follow the pathway, right? The marker on our map, the dotted line. I'm not sure if I was eyeing that so much before, but
let's go.
That should theoretically show us the way, shouldn't it? Let's give that a go. Let's see if that takes us in a different direction. Okay, for a second I thought it was just going to stop showing up as soon as we got here, and I was going to say, well, so much for that, but... Yeah, so where does this take us? It does take us down here. And there's a chance it's going to take us to that spot where we run into Damien, and we just have to go in a different direction. Let's see, did we try going down this way? We did, didn't we? But then that was blocked off. So this is where Damien is.
Slower.
And yeah, it seems like even to get to Orianna, it's taken us in this direction. Let's save just in case this does actually lock us in to the wrong path, because we obviously don't want to have that happen to us. But it seems like we do still need to go here. Or at least... Hold on. That needs to happen. Okay. Hello, Mr. Fletter. Goodbye, Mr. Fletter.
Leader of formation, Ran.
Okay. Not sure if that is technically a reference to the Damien stuff or the Orianna stuff. Yeah, we don't want to follow Damien's unit. Okay, so maybe that's the real question. It's just following Damien's unit would take us in one direction, whereas going for Orianna takes us in the opposite direction. I'm hoping that's the case, so we don't accidentally start doing Damien stuff. Yeah, so I think we hang out around here for Damien, or we keep on moving further for Orianna. So let's keep on moving in that case. Hold on. Can we put out that fire? I cannot do it to this target. I am sorry. I apparently cannot save you. I tried.
Barricade put up in the street.
Okay. I'm still hoping that's not a reference to anything that Damien and his team are doing. Hold on. We got some kind of enemy over here. Looking like an out. Yeah. Oh. Damaged us. It did not damage any of the civilians. For reasons unknown to me. Alright, we seemingly want to actually engage further over here. Well, unless we can get you in this Jordan. Can you not do that? There might be two Alps here. At the moment, yeah, I'm seeing two. One of them is invisible, this one right here. Come on. There you go. Keep on engaging right as the Urden is expiring, and this does not please me. Alright, can you please come a little bit closer? Oh, yeah, see, oh, it's an Alp and a Bruxo. Technically two different types of enemies. Ow. Alp is dead. I'm just trying to... Get out more in the open. So we can actually fight you for reals. You just kick me? Rude. You stun us for an extended period of time. I'd like to get back into Cyrodiil, where you are currently being slowed down. One moment, please. Right, now we can engage. Please come back. Now you can engage. You get us from there? Jordan goes down. Let's reactivate it. Still not dead. He's taking damage over time, though. I think it's just that we have decent bleed chance. Can we hit you in time? No. Seemingly not. Or, actually, we might have still gotten a finishing blow in there. I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, I think we did. Based on the dramatic death that we were seeing over here. Somewhere over here. Okay. So, now let's just make sure we're continuing to go in the right direction. It seems like we are. Let's put our custom marker here again. So yeah, I think we're far enough away from the Damien stuff that hopefully we should be... No, that's not what I wanted. Should be pretty safe to make sure that we are going to be assisting Orianna, or working with Orianna, rather than Damien. Hello. Yeah, 'cause I don't think we made it this far in our other playthrough. Don't remember running into a Dark Pain here, I don't think. I think this is now new to us. And it would take us in this direction, so I think from here on out, everything is unknown. Like, this might even be them. No, that, I think, kind of looks like a bunch of guards. No, that's right outside Orianna's door, seemingly. So I think we're there. Let's save now, just in case. Okay. So, of course, that is interesting to hear their conversation there, but we're not going with the guards this time. Instead, we're going this route. And we've learned that Orianna is a vampire, though I don't really think we've ever asked her or confronted her about it.
Virtues. You knights have forsworn the virtues. The gods have seen fit to punish us all. Shut your mouth. You draw the gear.
Okay. So these are just townspeople who are hanging out in Orianna's estate. As for Orianna herself, though, she's over here. Very interested to see what her take on this situation is.
To get somewhere.
Very much so. Now be kind enough to step aside.
Chaos in the city. Know what's going on.
Naturally.
I have a feeling you
It's
do.
rather irritating.
Irritating, you say? Go on.
Bloodbath in the streets. That's irritating? I'd probably use a stronger term.
Well, you know, I'm getting on in years. Not easily impressed. Takes a bit more to get me worked up.
Yeah, I suppose empathy's not something I associate with vampires.
I suspected you would guess.
Yeah.
Wasn't hard. Not like you tried hard to hide it.
Should I have?
Well, I am a witcher.
And thus my foe?
That depends entirely on you.
That is up to you. Alright, so yeah, I'm that must have been the first time that we've acknowledged or let her know that we know that she's actually a vampire. Who did we initially... I mean, I think we guessed it almost immediately, but then I think it was Detloff, or rather, Regis, who told us officially that that was the case. So yeah, you know, could you maybe take us to see your manager? It's kind of urgent. I'd like to file a complaint.
See you're unseen. Convince him to stop Detloff. Heard you could help me with that.
My. It seems my dear Regis needs to be reprimanded. He's become rather indiscreet.
I wonder where she sort of ranks up in the hierarchy of vampires relative to Regis and Detloff.
A number of bridges you could jump off, for instance.
Oh, man.
Just want to talk to him.
Talk. Lovely. He'll rend your head from your neck. Make shreds of you before you can open your mouth.
Let me worry about that. Willing to do it or not?
I, too, would prefer a city calmed, but to reveal so dear a secret to a witcher. Know what? Come with me. I must tend to a certain matter. Then we'll talk.
Okay. I think we probably will go with her, because I'm not sure we have anything else to do other than this. But, one thing that I'm curious to see is that, of course, when in our initial timeline, when we went to go track down Sienna, we ended up spending a lot of time with Sienna in the Land of a Thousand Fables. And so she sort of became the central piece of the primary character of that latter end of the game. So I'm wondering, in this alternate timeline, who is going to be the sort of the person assuming that role that Sienna played in the other set of decisions that we made. So is it going to be Orianna, who becomes the main character in this section? Is it going to be the Unseen Elder? It's going to be a combination of those two, mixture of them, or even Detloff himself, maybe? I think initially I was probably imagining it would have been Detloff. Because I mean that the big question at the end is sort of taking sides between Detloff, Sienna, and, in some ways, Anna Henrietta, right? So, I guess I was assuming that since we did a lot with Sienna along one pathway, that the other pathway would send us down the Detloff route. So, yeah, let's go with her now, I think.
If I was talking to a human now, I'd say that every moment we delay brings another death. Thing is, doubt that moves you at all.
Frankly, not in the least.
Where are we going?
Not far. You see, I maintain a kind of shelter just outside Beauclair. An orphanage, to be precise. I've
What?
heard the birds whisper. They claim a terrible thing's happened there. Under the present circumstances, I must treat this seriously. I'm sure you understand.
Maybe?
Perfectly. Let's go.
Not entirely sure what you're on about. Just a vampire that casually runs an orphanage in her spare time?
Must cost a small fortune maintaining this place.
What can I do? I have a weakness for children.
Meaning
Ooh,
Meaning
as a
that I-
vampire?
Wait,
I'm not sure I like the sound of that.
blood.
Now, does she have the self-control that Regis has? Or is she gonna go crazy as soon as she smells blood? Oh.
Anno! Anno!
Don't think we know that name?
Anno! Please.
There's someone or something still here that's a threat, it seems. Whatever it was that attacked the orphanage, in all likelihood, maybe?
What happened? Where's Arno? Speak.
Shh. Oh, the monster will come.
What monster? Oh, we can accent the kid? Or we can ask him about, well, I mean, I think this might actually be the right course of action here. I can't imagine, well, maybe Orianna would get mad at us for doing so, but it might make it easier for us to get some information out of this guy. So I think we give it a shot and just hope that Orianna does not get very mad at us for doing so.
Easy, little man. You're safe now.
Doesn't seem like she took issue with that. She barely even noticed, or she didn't even acknowledge it, seemingly.
I was so scared. Scared.
Of what? You can tell us. Take your time.
I woke up because of the bells. Then the screams. I pulled the quilt over my head so I wouldn't hear. But they were so loud. And something began pounding on the roof. Boom, boom, louder and louder. Then Uncle Arno came and said, "Sit quiet, real quiet. Shh, shh, and you'll be all right."
The whole son abandoned them, left them, and ran away.
Yeah, who is this Arno guy? Yeah, who is he? Hope we get the chance to ask both these questions.
Who's this Arno?
The Guardian. He ran the orphanage with his wife, for a generous fee. I don't see them, can't hear or smell them either. They fled, left the children behind as bait.
Uncle Arno told us to be quiet as mice, and the monster wouldn't come, but it did. It came.
That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. So in that case, what exactly did happen? Potentially this guy and his partner ran away, the people who were supposed to be guarding this orphanage, and then some kind of monster came and attacked? And it does seem kind of strange. Presumably, said monster was some kind of vampire, because most of the monsters out and about at the moment are vampires, but that would be odd, given how I would assume, if that were the case, that said vampires would know that Orianna has some affiliation with this orphanage, and they wouldn't just wildly attack this and basically harm one of their own friends. But, yeah, what is the deal then?
What happened then?
Bartes, Neve, Mora, and some others. They ran out. My sister Anna and me. We hid right here in the room. But Anna, she began to cry. I covered her mouth, whispered, "Shh, shh, shh," held her long, till she stopped.
You mean to say you...
Drop it. Think I know enough.
As do I. Something killed my children. I'll stay with the boy. He shouldn't be left alone again. You track down this scum. Bring me its head and I'll help you with the unseen.
Ah, okay. So there's our way in. Boy, is he actually physically hurt as well?
Boy's hurt. Wounds need dressing.
Not to worry. I'll see to it.
You sure? Got a lot of practice, just need a few minutes to...
Go.
Okay. If you say so. Fine. We'll see if we can find a lead.
Fine. See if I can't find a lead.
Excellent. Go on. Get to work. Come, little one. I'll sing to you. Was asleep in
Oh, it's the main theme!
That's all a swaying in the breeze.
The main menu. And this is the barn, is it not? This is it. Oh man.
Fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths.
I was just going to say that it looked like, you know, I could hear the music in the background. It was more or less the same music as the main theme that you hear when you're on the menu of the game. And I do always like to see when and where games put that music in, because I think it sends a strong message, right? It's sort of the game saying this is one of, if not the most important moments in the game, and that's why we're putting this music here. So it just adds a little bit more weight to the moments. And I remember in the main menu, obviously we were looking at that screen every time we played this game for the past year and a half, and it made you wonder, like, where is this place? What is the significance of it? Because at least initially it wasn't obvious, but I remember you could see in the main menu there's this little barn, and in the night sky and like on the horizon you can see the hills and what we now know to be Beauclair, although when we first started playing the game, of course, we had no idea that was the case. But, and then there was this, you could see a silhouette, maybe a little more details than that, of a person in this barn near where Geralt is lying down and seemingly meditating. And you can sort of tell the person has red hair. And so, you know, having, at the very beginning, starting The Witcher 3, seen that, I thought, well, I mean, what are the characters we know of that have red hair? I mean, the most significant one, of course, being Triss, but that was about it. Or Shawnee, potentially, even. And so I think, you know, somewhere deep in the back of my mind, I was always theorizing, who is that? What is the situation that we see here? Because it wasn't immediately obvious what that was all tied to. But now, we finally see. And that's interesting. It's, of course, there are, like we were saying, branching decisions to be made at the end of the game here. And so the one that shows up on the main menu is this one here, not the one that we went out and did at the beginning.